Hey there, Taurus. Welcome. Thanks for joining. This is a card pull for the month of February 2024. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It's pretty standard. If you like what you hear and you want to personal message me for a private reading, I'm super into that. So just going to dive right in and just asking for the archetypes to make themselves known. What is in the highest benefit for our Taurus? For February 2024, we're looking for, how is Taurus showing up in this month? We're looking for a self card. What is the energies of Taurus best known? Here's some of our cards. Okay, that's the self, upper and lower. We're going to do past. Oh, that's so funny. Both of them. Taurus for February, placement in the past for 2024. Asking for the archetypes to be beneficial. Place in the past for Taurus. And for the future. Future for Taurus 2024. Not doing it, guys. Oh, okay, there we go. Classic rollout. Yeah, for those who don't know me, I have been doing cards for quite some time and I never improve with my shuffling skills. So that's just the way it is. I'm a doomed shuffler. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, that's so oh, wow. Okay. Wild. Please forgive me for not having the ability to, show you what's going on here, but I will show you as they come up. So Taurus in the center here, we have apocalypsis, and that is, showing up as the center self. So in this spread, we've got center self, and then cosmic forces, underworld forces, past and future. So apocalypsis, as the center card in the self. So what is apocalypsis? First of all, I just want to say that this is an initiation card, and this deck is split into selves, tools, places, and initiation. So like if it were a tarot, this would be considered like a major arcana card. It's a major initiation card. And here, I'll hold it up for you. And pretty much basically like what the feeling that you get from this card is exactly what it is. It is akin to the Tower card in tarot. So for me, when I look at this, like, it just looks like a kaleidoscope, right, of crazy stuff. And just like in a kaleidoscope, things come together and they pull apart and there's all these crazy visions. And it is exactly what it says. It is a Tower card, right? So it's like everything that you thought you knew and where its place was, you know, your identity, your friends, your just like literally everything that you think that you know is getting tossed out the window and like broken down into its basic amino acid parts so that it can rebuild like the structures, the proteins, the molecules, whatever for you in your life. So is it a pleasant process? Like for most of us, no. It's a serious initiation. It's an initiation card, right? And so, yeah, especially like you've got Uranus and Taurus, we've got Pluto moving, and Taurus likes stability. Taurus is about value, meaning, purpose, simplicity, right? Taurus is the cow out in the field, grazing the grass, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the taste of grass, right? It's every day doing the same thing, enjoying the fresh air, enjoying the grass. I don't need to go do a different pasture. I like this pasture, right? And so there's a beauty and simplicity and enjoying of the senses there and finding value and meaning and purpose in that space. And slow to move. And so crazy change like this is not something that anyone super loves, especially Taurus, right? And so maybe you're going to be moving a lot. Maybe you're changing jobs. Maybe you're changing your relationship a lot. Maybe you are changing your finances from regular money to crypto. Maybe somebody stole your money. Like, I don't know. But basically, this is that Tower card where it's like everything that you thought you knew, all the structures that you put into place, all that concrete evidence, all of the things that you put into place for your security and stability and comfort and security are getting shifted, broken down, reassembled. And what the hell are you going to grab onto, right? And so this can be for your benefit, right? Like it's always for or benefit. That's the first thing I would say is that all of these things are always for our benefit, for our evolutions, for our soul's growth. Doesn't mean we always like it, right? We can have our thoughts and opinions about it and our feelings about it, but it's still there and for our growth. So I'd say, what are the things that you can hold on to as this is happening? There is an eye here in the center, and what I like about that is this kind of reminds me of like the eye in the storm, right? And that is your breath. Your breath keeps you centered, calm. It brings you back into the core of who you are, so that you can stand in the middle of that hurricane and look around and see everything getting picked up and whipped around and put into these crazy places. But you yourself intrinsically are stable. You're okay. So part of this is realizing for the Taurus archetype that the external manifestation of security, so the money, the material, the relationship, the whatever, doesn't guarantee your security and safety or status, for one, because all those can go out the window, right? And so sitting with a little bit of the fear around that, I think. But then it comes back to like, well, if those things actually don't represent my value, can I recognize my own value inherently with nothing? And that's what's interesting about the Taurus archetype and its pathology, is that in one expression of distortion for Taurus, is that if Taurus doesn't feel worthy enough, it will try to prove its worthiness to the outside world through these mementos, right? Through the money, the car, the girlfriend, the looking good, having the name brands, having the things, right? That's how it can say, hey, look, world, I am worthy, even though I don't think I am or see the value in it. But because you think there's value in this stuff, this is how I'm going to play the game, right? And the other way that this pathology can express itself is that I don't feel like I'm worthy, and so I reject all of the because I don't feel valuable, I'm going to reject the valuables deemed by society. And so I'm going to live a life of poverty. I am going to, not own anything, so nothing owns me. And that will show them that I am secure and stable and I don't need nothing, to prove myself to you guys according to your standards, when actually there's like a deep hole on the inside. And so that can also, even though typically Pisces is associated with addiction, there's definitely like a black hole vibe that can happen with Taurus when it's operating from this space. And so what I would say is, please be careful as we're walking through this initiation of everything being upside down, like especially for Taurus, like home, sanctuary, stability, routine, simplicity. These are really, really important things for the archetype of Taurus. So when it's being just like totally disassembled, that can be absolutely terrifying. So it's, how do you find your grounding in this? How do you find your grounding? And Taurus in part is about the body and it's about the senses. So I would say really take heed of that eye that's in the center here. It's the eye of the storm. So when we turn the card like this, yes, everything is moving and everything is shifting, but that eye stays in the middle. And so it's like, what do you have your focus on? What do you keep your focus on? It's like when you're, I don't know if this is exactly like, just bear with me, but it's like, when you're drunk and you just gotta like put your eyeballs on one point or something like that. And then you can get, I don't know, that's like helpful. I don't know why that's coming to me. I'm not encouraging everyone to go out and get drunk to deal with this initiation, because I think that's a really bad idea, but just throwing it out there, just like a little bit of a caution of like, please be careful in the way that you're treating your body. And that you may be overindulging in your senses as a way to escape the pressures and the discomfort of feeling like the carpet's pulled out from underneath you as things are changing this month. And the other thing I would say is that these are like 4 flames. And you've got fire a ton in this reading. I'll show you. You've got the womb here in the underworld. You've got the flame here in the future. Just honestly, the whole reading is very black, white, and red. And so what that says to me is that root chakra, which is represented by the color red, is really, really, really important right now, which makes sense because your foundation's sense of security ancestors, your body, coming back to your body, coming back to your body, coming back to your senses, coming back to your body, coming back to your senses. That is fundamentally the thing that keeps Taurus grounded, and all of us grounded, really. But really just coming back moment to moment, like, oh shit, I'm freaking out because I don't have this sense of security. Come back to the body, come back to the body, come back to the body, go inward. And these 4 flames here that I was trying to get to is, it almost feels like the 4 corner posts of the dimensions, right? So it's like as above, so below, north, east, south, west. So allowing this to almost create a perimeter, right, for you as things are moving, right? There's still almost, if I could spin this card really, 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 really fast, these flames would start to run into each other and create a flame border. And so I really just want to like encourage this idea of like purging and purifying and allowing whatever is not serving you to be burned and let go into spirit, into the ether, for your highest good, and let everything restructure itself. And when it all comes down and the dust is settling, it will be rebuilt again into something better, and that's part of the promise of the fire, of inspiration, of passion. It's the beacon of light. It's the hope, right? So trust that it will pass. You have what you need to stay centered and grounded, and it will be for the better. The next card that we can go to, this is so interesting. I'm going to go actually below before I go above, because that has not revealed itself to me quite yet. So the energies in the underworld are where we're going to go next, and we have the card of the womb. That's what that is. The tendency to cling on to safety, but it's false safety, right? So it's like, it's really not helpful while, like, let's pretend you're in the eye of the storm in this hurricane tornado thing, and you see a tree go by. Well, holding on to that tree isn't really going to help stabilize you if the tree's been uprooted and it's flying around. So just because it's something that looks like it's safe and it once was really safe and anchoring for you doesn't mean that it is right now. That's maybe not a good idea. Keep all limbs inside the vehicle, right? But yeah, this womb, again, it's like creative expression, root chakra, which is your foundations, your sense of security, food, right? Having your Maslow's hierarchy of needs met is that fundamental foundation stuff. Trusting your experience, trusting your ancestors. That's all of this sort of womb safety card that represents, and all of this. And so, yeah, I think it would just kind of echoes what I've already said about just being aware of what brings you comfort. And is it really to your good right now, or does that need to be burned away, right? Are these like false seeds that you're planting for something that maybe you thought worked for you at one time, but is not supposed to be carried forward in this form of evolution for you? So just because it tasted good before doesn't mean it's going to taste good now, or just before, and be prepared for that shedding. So the womb, okay, women, it's part of the experience to bleed every month. And so allowing a little bit of making friends with the shapeshifter, right? Because Taurus, as an archetype, likes things done one way all the time. Kind of like, it's that simplicity of just like, you get up, you wash your face, you eat your food, you go do your thing, you come home. There's like a security and safety in that. And while, yes, this is one big initiation and there is like a passing to it, the womb sheds every month. And so we are always in this cycle, right, of shedding and purifying and allowing what's not longer serving us to be let go. And I'm really feeling that energy for you as Taurus, where it's like, make friends with change. Make friends with change and get into the habit of releasing and letting go what is not longer serving you, so that you don't get stuck in those ruts that keep you, that are just keeping you stuck, right? That's what I would have to say that about the underworld. Yeah, just trying to feel into if there's anything else that I really want to see there. Shit, I need to turn the dehumidifier on. Yeah, so in the upper world, I'm still kind of chewing on this one a little bit, so bear with me. In the upper world, we have the Orphan card. And that's so funny because this actually just came up for Aries, but in the future. So how would I read this in the upper world? Because when things are in the upper world, they're for our good. They are the forces in the corner kind of rooting us on and our strength point. Okay, there's two things coming up for me. One is to allow yourself to be taken care of. Even if you are an orphan. Even if you are isolated. Even if you feel abandoned. Let yourself be taken care of. Anehe! Ha! Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, so as you're walking through this initiation of allowing, it's kind of like Dorothy and Tornado Man. Everything is going out the window. Everything you thought you knew no longer exists. So these forms of security that we've already talked about. The orphan, I want you to think of this as almost like a refugee sanctuary in a way, where it's like, yeah, you don't know where your parents are, man. You got separated. You don't know, you don't even have a bed anymore. You don't have clothes anymore. The whole place got burned down, ripped up. You know, all you have is your body, yourself, and this system in place that is helping you, like this refugee center or like this orphanage, basically, that's going to take care of you and your needs in interim. And I feel like that's what it's saying. It's like, lean into that, even though you don't have your car, your girlfriend, your house, your brand name pants, or your routine, or your money, or whatever it is, that sense of security, these things that give you your sense of security, even though you don't have those things, you are still being taken care of. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's not your own bed, even if it's not the food you would make, somebody is giving that to you. And recognizing that and having gratitude and allowing that to just be your food source for now, and trusting that you will have those things back, but in a better form. But for now, you're going to be a little uncomfortable. You're going to be a little displaced, but you have some strength in that. There is some strength in being uncomfortable for a bit, and it allows you to kind of firm up some of those boundaries, you know, and find out who you are in that nitty gritty way. You know, again, is it my favorite thing? No, but do we got to walk through it? Yes, right? So yeah, I would just say really leaning into that of like, yes, you might feel isolated, you might feel abandoned, you might feel a little bit orphaned, but knowing that you were protected and these things are being supplied for you, they are available. You are being taken care of in the middle of, you know, disaster relief, basically. That's really strong. Then... yeah, that's so funny. So in your past position, we have another initiation card, which makes sense. We've had Uranus and Taurus, and man, has it been a doozy. I don't know about you, but I moved like 5 or 6 times just in last year from December to December. I've changed jobs multiple times, my finance, like it's been a lot. It's been a lot. This is essentially Uranus. It is the great liberator. It is the great rebellion. And it takes down all those structures so that it can make it again, which is a sense of chaos, for better and for worse. And so you have like another initiation card in the past, Thanatos. And Thanatos here, while she does represent death, and so again, I'm just really feeling that vibration of like, you're kind of like, I've already been walking through so much of this. Like, I have already died numerous times in the last year or two. I've already let my identity die. I've let my security attachments die. They're all dead. What else is there? You know, there's always more. It just might look different. So yeah, I can definitely feel into like the heaviness. I get it. I hear you. It's been a doozy. It's been a whirlwind. And you're still being expressed. But the other thing that I really love about this card that Kim Krantz doesn't really write about as much in the book, but I feel like this is my own sort of takeaway from this card, is that with Thanatos, even though there's dead, there's a weaving. right? There's a catching things in your web. There is a creation that is happening. Spiders are known for being beautiful dream weavers and representing creative endeavors. And so I would say like making creative, making life out of death, right? Allowing, how do I want to say? I am distracted because I'm running my Instapot and I did not put on my dehumidifier and I'm getting moisture all over the windows and it's stressing me out because I want to deal with that. So I apologize a little bit just for my momentary distraction. But yes, so the ability to create something beautiful and imaginative and expressive from the debris and the aftermath of initiation storms, of just like the wreckage. It's like all of this got burned down and ripped up and thrown around. What can I salvage and how do I make beauty out of that? How can I make this something that actually like works for me in the long run? Also, I mean, literally having a life sucked out of you is another interpretation of that. So I just want to acknowledge like the heavy feelings for sure around just feeling like, oh my God, I've been having a life sucked out of me and I'm nothing but a fly in this spider's web, stuck waiting for death. And now I've just got like a whole more bunch of ick happening. And it's like, well, yeah, but like maybe somebody came along and like accidentally shook that spider web because they didn't know they were walking into it. And like, that's actually how you're getting liberated out of the web. Right? So it's just something to think about. Yeah, and in the future position, we have the flame. So lots of fire again here. And what does the flame represent? It represents our inspiration, really. It's like, what is that thing keeping the fire stoked in your heart and in your spirit and keeping you going forward? And you can see here that, again, it's a very dark card. It's a very dark reading, pretty well. And this represents like that flame in the dark night of the soul, right? What is that inspiration? What is that beacon of hope? What is that passion, that inspiration, that yearning, that desire that can keep you moving? And to allow that to be that center focus and light your way. I also think it's really interesting that we've got two triangle shapes, by the way. This was the underworld card and this is your future card. So being aware of what patterns that are working for us and we want to bring forward, that are lighting our path and working for like in our highest good. And also what patterns maybe like aren't serving us entirely, that we want to be careful of allowing to still shape our path forward, right? If that makes sense. Because the fire will come and burn it all down. You know? Yeah, so allowing that flame to light your way. Again, we've got a lot of red here. So passion, vitality, blood source. So interesting again, because on the opposite, we literally have like the indication of sucking blood force out of you. So how do you reignite that stove? How do you create safety for yourself? How do you create passion for yourself? How do you stay focused on the thing in front of you so that you can keep your grounding during this and be able to share your light and light the way for others as well? Yeah, so that's what I would say about that. I'm just going to finish off by choosing maybe an Archangel Michael card. Actually, I'm going to do a chocolate card first. I really like this chakra deck. It's the Chakra Labyrinth, and it gives you like an affirmation and like release. So just what is the card for Taurus for February 2024? And the highest outcome to be made aware of, to walk with this mantra in our breath and in our steps for Taurus 2024 February. I'm going to do both of these. They both felt like they wanted to come out. So first, we've got the heart chakra happening here, green card. And your release is, I acknowledge and bless being overly responsible and accommodating. Maybe that's one of your safety patterns. If somebody needs me, then I have security in a relationship, right? So I acknowledge and bless being overly responsible and accommodating. And the renewal is I can ask for what I need, balancing giving and receiving, so that nobody feels abandoned, right? Or resentful, or having the life sucked out of them, or trapped, you know. It's beautiful. And then we have here for our solar plexus, I acknowledge and bless my self-doubt and insecurity seeking approval. Again, in a relationship here, in society's eyes, right? In our family's eyes, in our friends. Love that. I acknowledge and bless my self-doubt and insecurity, as one obviously has during this process, seeking approval. And the renewal is I claim my personal power and I develop my abilities with confidence. That's a good one. I claim my personal power and develop my abilities with confidence. Yeah. Get it. Awesome. And then your Archangel Michael card, go forward fearlessly. It's pretty good advice. My prayer. Thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. Knowing that as we're walking through this, it is for this purpose, and we are divinely protected and guided. May you walk securely and safely and be blessed. Bye.